Hey everybody, this is Theoral. You can find me on the Marvel Champions Discords, often answering questions in the rules channels. I also participate in the Card Text podcast with Bob and Scott, where we discuss various rules conundrums and occasionally talk about some of the new cards coming out. Today, I wanted to start on a Marvel Champions playthrough, where I try to play through the variety of Marvel Champions content, starting with the core set, moving on through in a kind of quasi-progression format. So to start with, we're going to start with just the core set, using just the core set cards. Our first scenario here is Expert Rhino, because I just always play Expert. I played Standard like once maybe. That was enough. Now I pretty much play Expert. So we've got Expert Rhino here. And to fight against him, we have Peter Parker, Spiderman. We are going to use the Justice Precon from the core set, from the back of the Learn to Play rulebook. This is just that deck, the Precon as set up by the mod here for tabletop. So we start with the break-in. Rhino's attacking a shield facility. Alright, starts with 0 threat. It's going to get 1 per turn. Expert Rhino, when revealed, we search the encounter deck and discard pile for break-in and take-in side scheme. Reveal it, so that's out here. It has 3 threat, and it will give us an extra encounter card if we don't clear it. So this is kind of our first priority here. We need to deal with this. We don't want extra encounter cards. We'll go ahead and draw our starting hand. Here's our starting hand. That looks like that deck was not shuffled. I did a terrible thing by not shuffling my deck. Let's see if we can get it dropped on there. There we go. Go ahead and shuffle this deck. Shuffle this deck. Alright, let's try that again. 6 cards. Alright, that looks more like a shuffled deck. So let's see. Heroic Innovation. That'll almost help us clear that, but that's not actually enough threat removal. Spider Tracers aren't going to help. First Aid's no good. Backflip's no good. This is not a good starting hand. Alright, so let's get rid of the Spider Tracers. First Aid's not doing us any good. Power of Justice, that'll help us play a Justice card, so we'll hang on to that. Get rid of Backflip. Nope, not on top of my deck. Although, that would be nice. And Heroic Intuition, I don't know. I don't trust it. It's not giving us enough thwart removal, because we only have 1 thwart. We need 3. We really need something that's going to hit all 3. So let's see what we can get. Anything better? No. It only got worse. Okay. Well, this is going to be an interesting start then. We may end up dealing with a double encounter on the first turn with no allies. Yeah, not really looking forward to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that. So we're going to use our genius resource here. Okay, so game starts. Beginning of the player phase, we're going to use our genius resource and get out an Avengers Mansion and just really hope that we can get something. Alright, come on, Mansion. Give us a good card. That's a Helicarrier, Mansion. That's a Helicarrier. Alright, well, that did not work. We will remove 1 threat from the scheme. Shoot. Well, maybe I should have hung on to the card. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and get out a Web Shooter. Maybe I should have discarded the Power and Justice. Alright. It gets 3 counters. We have Power of Justice. I'm just going to kill it. There's a lot of resources in these 28 cards left. I have plenty here. That's not my main concern. My main concern is playing the cards that I get and getting some better cards in my hand. I mean, 2 Web Shooters. It wasn't bad. It's just I really was hoping for thwart, and that did not happen. Alright. I also got no defenders, which is not ideal. No allies out here, rather, to jump block his attacks. So this could be a rough turn. Alright, ready all our cards. Draw 5. Yeah, you don't like a web. Hey, look, it's for Justice. That's the card I wanted to see. Alright, 1 threat. Rhino attacks me. I get to draw a card because he's attacking me. Oh, look at all these stunning cards. Wow, this is like not great. Alright, I'm not going to defend, I don't think, because, yeah, we'll just see what happens. Alright, what do we got? 5 damage. because we've got 2 encounter cards coming in. That's gonna go terrible. Let's see what happens. Alright, false alarm. I am now confused. See? Glad I did not do anything there. Alright, and second, shocker. I take 1 more damage, and I now have a minion to kill. So now the spider tracers would be useful, if only they weren't already gone. Okay. I need a card. Oop. Wrong button. Yeah, stop it. What is this? Boy. Okay. Drop. No. What happened? Okay, how did I do this? Chat. Go away, chat. Go away, chat. Go away, chat. No, that's not what I wanted. Technical difficulties. I don't know how to use Tabletop Simulator. And I hit a button. That's cool. I don't know how to get rid of that. Alright. One card. It's another webbed up. Well, I can definitely use that to help deal with our friend Rhino. So I think we're going to Power of Justice for Justice to go ahead and finish off this scheme. I could have just not bothered to thwart it, and I would have been just as well off. Okay, I can only do that if I don't have Confused. I needed to get rid of that. Okay, exhausted for Confused. There. Then I could do For Justice. Just pretend I always did that. Alright, I can play Mockingbird for 3. That plays Mockingbird. And then I have 2 resources and a webbed up. Wow. This is really not going my way. Nonetheless, I think that's the direction I'm going to go. 3 resources, puts out Mockingbird. Stuns Rhino. Yeah, I'll use that stun. I'll use that stun. Stuns Rhino. So he will not attack me. Great Responsibility is not a great card in this scenario. Mockingbird could take 1 damage to deal 1 damage to Shocker, I think, would be ideal here. And then I can kill him next turn with a simple exhaust. He's going to deal 2 damage to me, which is unfortunate. But I guess I can live with that. I'm maybe going to hang on to Webbed Up. I can always Web Up Rhino next turn after he fails to attack me. And be in a pretty okay spot-ish, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Not a great start. Okay, I've got an enhanced spider sense, so that's nice. Let's see how this goes. Alright. 1 threat on the main scheme. Rhino is no longer stunned. Shocker hits me for 2. I get 1 encounter card. It's Exhaustion. How fun. I get a second encounter card. It's Charge. Okay. Let's see here. This game is not going as well as most games go. I've lost 1 backflip, but I still have a second one in here, so there's a good chance I can backflip this charge when it eventually goes off. Might have to hold that. Oh, I could have hit Spider Sense to that Exhaustion. Might have been worthwhile. I don't know. Alright. Avengers Mansion for a card. What do we got? We got that Heroic Intuition. Good stuff. Alright. I'm not going to be able to use this because I'm not going to be defeating any minions anytime soon. On the other hand, I could get it out of my hand. And that might be good enough. So Daredevil would be a good play here. On the other hand, that'll help me kill Shocker. But then I've still got to take this charge from Rhino, which is going to kill me. Unless I draw a black flip. Which is one of these 16 cards. That seems terrible. I can web him up. But then, Shocker kills me. Huh. that's just really unfortunate. It looks like I'm going to be doing some terrible things here. Yeah, so we're going to do this. We're going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4 for Daredevil. Then we're going to flip the alter ego, and we're going to use our 1 resource to play Interrogation Room. Now we can't trigger Interrogation Room after defeating a minion, so that's not available to us. But that's okay. Daredevil can thwart for 2. And after thwarting, he gets to deal 1 damage to an enemy, which will deal damage to Shocker here. And then Mockingbird can exhaust to attack and deal a 3rd damage to Shocker. He is then defeated. Now we could still lose the game here. There is advances. I don't think we've seen any yet. And that's a game loss condition, but we'll hope that that doesn't happen. Alright, right. So, sorry. Ready? 5 cards. I drew a backflip. I could have done it. That's okay. I can hang on to that. That'll be useful. Sorry, I should have 6 cards. You know what would be cool? Aunt May. I could really use an Aunt May. Come on, Aunt May. Alright. Rhino is going to scheme against us. He schemes for 3. If he does that again, we lose. Alright, look out. Here comes an encounter card. Don't be advanced. It's not. It's a Hydra Bomber. Now, I can choose to take 2 damage or put a threat on the main scheme. Now, I'm actually in a pretty good spot with the main scheme, and given that 2 damage kills me, it's not actually a choice. So I should stop treating it like one. Alright, Avengers Mansion for a card. Hey, it's Jessica Jones. How cool is that? Alright, I have the Genius resource. I'm going to use that to play Nick Fury. So, he has 1 resource covered. 2, 3, and 4 with Great Responsibility. Comes a hopeful card draw. So I'm going to draw 3 cards here and really hope for Aunt May. It's May. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Alright. So, we didn't die. That's always good. Let's see, 1 for May. And then a lot of ways we could spend 2 to 3 resources here. Really want to play Black Cat. I think I might want to play Black Cat first. So let's go ahead and get rid of Tenacity, and how about Haymaker to play Black Cat? No, darn it. We don't want to go in that order. Alright. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of Mockingbird. She's going to remove 1 threat and then defeat herself from her consequential damage. Now, we're going to spend 2 resources. We're going to go with Tenacity and Haymaker to put out Jessica Jones. No, sorry. 2 resources, like I said, to put out Black Cat. She's going to discard my top 2 cards. 1, 2. Those were both mental. That means that I get to take both of them into my hand, because that's what she says after you play Black Cat. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck, and add each card with a printed mental resource discarded this way to your hand. There's a good number of mentals in here, so that worked out for me pretty well to draw 2 cards, making her kind of free. Now, Jessica Jones is just too many allies. I don't have the ally limit for her. I could replace Daredevil, but I'm just going to spend her for Aunt May. And then Aunt May is going to heal me for 4. And now I have some kind of choices here. There's 4 threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. 1 damage, 1 damage. That kills him. So we're set on that front. Actually, in everything. So I do not need to kill his minion myself. Now I could play a surveillance team. That'll give me some more threat removal. The important thing here is, since I don't need to kill a minion, I can recover. So I'm going to recover. Then I'll flip to hero mode. Now I could swing Web Kick Rhino. That'll give me a good 8 damage. Get me on the board here. That also helps because if Rhino's undamaged, he has a card that heals him for 4. And if he can't heal, then it surges. So hurting him actually does help mitigate a little bit of the problem cards. Alternatively, using my web shooter, I could play a surveillance team, hold on to enhanced spider sense and backflip. That'll stop a lot of bad cards. But it's not really getting me anywhere, and I don't know how badly I need surveillance team. It's not a bad play necessarily, because keeping this threat under control is a big part of being able to survive. I could just play surveillance team, not use my web shooter, keep that resource around forever because I haven't spent it yet. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get started on winning the game. We need to play about 3 swinging web kicks to win the game, so game acted weird. 3 swing web kick. We do 8 damage. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Taking him down to 7. Alright. Then Daredevil and Nick Fury each thwart. Note that Nick Fury is unfortunately not going to get full value here because I can't block with him because of this charge. When Daredevil thwarts, I trigger his response, dealing 1 damage to a Hydra Bomber, and then Black Cat attacks a Hydra Bomber. And Black Cat, as her special ability, when she attacks, she does not take consequential damage. One of her abilities, just because there's no consequential there. So she doesn't take any damage. She'll last forever. Alright, that finishes that turn. We ready? I go ahead and draw until I have 5 cards in hand, including a necessary backflip. Unfortunately, that used up my whole deck. So, flip that and shuffle it and get an extra encounter card. Alright, now Rhino attacks me. Oh, sorry. First, add a threat to my game. Now, Rhino attacks me. When Rhino initiates an attack, I get to draw a card. I'm going to get a web shooter. He's attacking me for 5 plus this boost. 6 plus this boost. 8 damage, which would nearly kill me. Fortunately, I have a backflip. So, 0 damage. I'm good. We get a new encounter card. And charge goes away. That's important. It's a Hydra Mercenary. And he is tough. Alright, Rhino. You have decided that you don't want to die. Okay. Nick Fury is discarded at the end of the round. Okay. How are we going to do this? So, we have a pretty easy thwart here. Don't really need more thwarting. Mockingbird, it is lovely to see you. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3 plays Mockingbird. 1, 2, 3 plays a swinging web kick. That's not a bad sequence here. Except for that'll put him on stage 3. Do I really want to put him on stage 3 right at this moment? It doesn't feel too bad. He'll be stunned. I'll be stunned, because that's what happens when he goes to stage 3. Threat will be gone. I think we're good to do that. I could build up more, play a web shooter instead of using a web shooter, but I think we're good here. So Black Cat is going to hit this Hydra Mercenary for 1 damage. I'm going to hit this Hydra Mercenary for 2 damage. After attacking and defeating, or after defeating a minion, I can exhaust Interrogation Room to remove 1 threat. Then I will spend 1, 2, 3 resources to play Mockingbird, which will stun Rhino. I will then exhaust Mockingbird to attack Rhino, dealing 1 damage to remove his tough. And finally, I will spend this web shooter resource plus these additional 2 resources to swinging web kick him for 7 damage. Well, 8 damage, but 7's all it takes. He is defeated. The stun carries over. When he is tough again. When revealed, stun each hero. So I'm stunned as well. And finally, he has 16 hit points. Alright. I still have Daredevil. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage on the board right now if I needed to go all out. One of those would take out a tough, so that drops him to 13. If I can manage 13 damage with my hand next turn, I can kill him. That seems unlikely, but you never know. I draw 5 cards. Redding apparently clears my stun status. How nice! I do have it webbed up, so I can make it so he basically doesn't activate for the rest of the game. Alright, 1 threat on the main scheme. He clears his stun status by trying to attack me. I get 1 encounter card. It's an armored Rhino suit. Alright. He has decided to make it difficult to kill him. My Avengers Mansion wants to draw me a card. It's a terrible card. I'd really like to draw more cards, please. I'll go ahead and clear my stun status. And I guess I am going to wipe him up. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what else am I going to do? He is now webbed up. He will not be attacking. 1, 2. Sorry. That's 2 damage. I knock off his tough. And I deal 1 damage. There we go. Now he can heal. I'm going to hit Spider Sense so I can block a bad treachery. Sorry. No. He doesn't take any damage. It gets absorbed by his armored Rhino suit. However, this forced interrupt is going to take place after the tough because status cards have priority over any conflicting abilities. This conflicts, so this tough was the first thing to go. Armored Rhino suit second. Okay, so that deals with all of this. You don't need to hold the enhanced spider sense necessarily. In fact, let's see. Have I already passed Shadow of the Past? Yes. Shadow of the Past is in the discard pile. That is about the only card I care about. So, Advance is the other card that could be bad, but there's enough room here that I'm not worried about it. I'm saving Daredevil. He's just going to knock off 2 threat next turn and deal damage to Rhino, and that'll finish him off. So, that's my plan there. Alright. Ready all my cards. Draw 5. Backflip. That's unnecessary. But a swing away quick. That'll be good. Okay. Villain phase starts. Threat. He is webbed up. He does not activate. He is instead stunned. I get an encounter card. He's tough. This Rhino. He is a tough cookie. Alright. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're set there. Avengers Mansion wants me to draw a card. It's a terrible card. I've really got not much to do. My deck is not really cooperating with me trying to end this game. So, first thing that happens is Daredevil is going to thwart for 2. 1, 2. And then he deals 1 damage, which again hits the tough. Then we deal 1, 2, 3, and I guess Mockingbird is also down out here. 4 damage. That is enough to clear this armored Rhino suit. 1 down. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Swing away kick. 8 damage. So I couldn't have played another swing away kick even if I wanted to. Hold the resource. Don't hold the resource. Yeah, let's just go ahead. We'll get out of Heroic Intuition. I can thwart for 2 now. Look how smart I am. Just in case, if I need to go through my deck again, I don't know. Who knows, this game's take forever. Alright. That's the end of my turn. Ready all cards. Draw 5. There's my last swing wipe kick. That will kill him as long as he doesn't do any crazy healing or anything. I still cannot draw an ally, so I don't have any extra damage available. I already discarded Haymaker. I really hope he doesn't heal. Alright. Rhino attacks, but he is stunned, so he doesn't do anything. Look out! We got a Hydra Mercenary. That would be extra damage, but fortunately, Black Cat and Spiderman are on the job, so I don't need a card. I did get my extra damage though. so that's nice. Black Cat and Spider-Man deal 3 damage to this Hydra Mercenary. Spider-Man defeated it, so I get to use Interrogation Room to remove the last threat, just for the heck of it. And then paying Strength and Heroic Contusion, we play Swinging Web Kick, dealing 8 damage to Rhino. It's like it was made for this. And Rhino is defeated. Spider-Man is victorious over Expert Rhino. We have stopped his break-in. He cannot steal this shipment of Vibranium. Although, as we will see soon, it doesn't really matter, because Claw has the Vibranium anyways. I hope you enjoyed this. It's fun for me to play through these early scenarios using the pre-con decks. I actually really liked the pre-con decks that were given to us in the core set. The way in which they only included 2 of each aspect card, I think, helped a lot, because even though there are some bad cards in this deck, such as Interrogation Room, I mean, it's okay. Surveillance Team, which is not great, although, again, it's okay, so it works, but you just don't want too many of them. Same with Interrogation Room, you can only play 1, so the second one's just a dead card. If it was a triple, then there'd be 2 dead cards. Same with Heroic Intuition, max 1 per player. Solo, of course, that's a bigger problem than multiplayer. You can pass them around, but ultimately, that limit of only 2 cards means that even though, yes, you only get 2 4 Justices, maybe you might want 3 of them, at least you're only burdened with 2 Great Responsibilities and 2 Interrogation Rooms, instead of getting 3 of those cards. Their Surveillance Teams and the Heroic Intuitions are kind of in between. They're pretty good cards, really, in the core set, just because what else are you going to do? Also, Great Responsibility does have its uses. It's not a terrible card. It's just not great in the core set. Mostly trading threat for damage is not a good trade until we have some ways to get tough. And then, once you can get tough statuses, then suddenly calculus on those things changes a lot. Yeah, so anyways, also with these 11 basic cards only having 1 ofs each, I think that's also nice. I really wish they had found a way to keep this pattern going as they continue to release cards. If they could have still only included 2 of each card, because once we are out of the core sets, I will not play precons anymore. I really don't like the precon style with the triples. I don't often run 3 copies of a card unless it's a card that I really am building my deck around, and the precons often have cards that you are not building a deck around. Often cards like Interrogation Room. Not Interrogation Room itself, I don't think. Mostly Surveillance Teams, but these max 1 per player cards. I do not need 2 or 3 copies of a max 1 per player card that is marginal. If it's a really important card, maybe. Although even then, I would like to be able to play it on another player. I guess that doesn't matter as much solo. I did not mention I usually play this game 2 players, so playing solo is kind of a different experience for me, but still a lot of fun. And I do, like I said, I really liked this style of precon. I'm happy to play it. Our next game will be against Claw, and we'll go ahead and fight him with Black Panther using leadership. So if you enjoyed this, like this or subscribe or whatever. Sure, I watch enough YouTube videos to know how to end these, but I don't. So have a good one. Enjoy.